From country roads to interstate highways, city streets and boulevards, getting around is a challenge without wheels.
The independence that you get from owning a vehicle is, that's huge.
These 6 people make up a tiny nonprofit that blesses people with the gift of wheels at a low cost.
You fooled me! I love it. I can cry.
It transforms lives.
Oh my God, that is perfect.
They're affordable, working used cars, fixed, clean, and ready to drive.
Gives you your freedom to do and go anywhere you want.
Over 6 years and now in 4 cities and growing, this Omaha-based nonprofit is putting hundreds of cars on the road, driven by people in need.
We're locking arms and we're helping them move forward.
They call it Chariots for Hope.
We have the opportunity to restore cars. We work with a lot of people who have restoration in their lives. And so I literally get to see lives transformed.
Transformation from poverty, addiction, and challenging circumstances.
The kindness is overwhelming.
Every day I used to ride the bus 8 times a day to get to and from work from the Open Door Mission.
Lifting people in prayer.
Lord, we continue to pray, God, that you will guide her and direct her so that she can go ahead and give back.
And literally giving them a lift.
Just love them and encourage them. And God's given us the tool of a car.
This is KETV Newswatch 7 Chronicle. Driving Hope, a vehicle for change. Hi, I'm Julie Cornell. It's been a tough year and a half, a really challenging time, and we thought we would focus on a story that brings a little bit of hope. So for the last few months, we focused on a small Omaha nonprofit that gives cars to people in need. The cars are not given easily, and they're giving to folks going through something life-changing. This is a house of second chances. It's a community of restoration, hope, and faith.
I was 18 when I found out I was pregnant, and I was completely terrified. As soon as I stepped foot in this place, everyone was loving, everyone was caring.
Each of the 12 new moms at Omaha's Bethlehem House has their own story of trauma, like Alexis DeLong.
This is Fern. She's 8 months old. She's the light of my life. She brings me so much joy and happiness.
Fern, stand. So many of our women come into this program nervous, afraid, and feeling hopeless. And so when I think of Alexis, I think of a young mom who came into this program with just an open heart and was really ready to embrace a new way to live.
I spent a lot of hours in here. I slept on that couch before.
The house helps guide women who are pregnant, homeless, and desperate for change.
Going in and
99% of the residents have no healthy family connections.
It kind of reminds me about how far I've come.
In these hallways and rooms, she's worked through some tough times.
I didn't have the best childhood.
New moms and their newborns stay for a year, some moms kicking addictions. There's a constant waiting list to get into the house.
where's the healthiest meal in the day?
They've served more than 600 families over the years.
That's a real accountability piece to be a part of the Bethlehem House program.
With support here, women are able to deliver healthy babies and follow a challenging classroom schedule.
There's actually 14 separate curriculums that cover the whole woman, the whole family, the whole idea of what it takes to really be successful and self-sufficient and independent in the community, and how to tackle your finances, to maintaining health insurance.
They taught me how to do bills. They taught me how to save my money. Their parenting classes are phenomenal. I learned so many things about being a mom.
We function like a really big family here.
Now married, in her own apartment, and working full-time.
How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Good.
Want to see my baby?
Yeah, I want to see your baby.
Alexis returns to the house for the aftercare program and to mentor other moms.
She was the youngest person here, but you have this soul that just wants to do well. And what you were able to do in these few short months, and they're able to see the success you've had.
She's leaving this nest with life skills and a healthy start to parenting.
It was kind of like a shelter. Like, this place was my chrysalis, and this is where I slowly began to learn things and develop things. And I left here as a wonderful mom, a knowledgeable person in general, with life skills that I never would acquired. I left here as a mature butterfly.
But Alexis, like the other new moms here, is still unable to afford a decent car to get around.
Transportation in Omaha is a huge barrier, and so all of our moms come to our program without reliable transportation. So the partnership that we can hopefully, really build and create with Chariots for Hope is instrumental in each mom's life here.
And that's really the key, nonprofits working together. Chariots was founded 6 years ago by Jason and Michelle Hurt. Their headquarters is now at the old Depot campus here in South Omaha. They partner with 120 nonprofits to give cars to people in need, folks who can afford the upkeep of one.
All right, Shayla, here we come. It's your day, your new ride. You're about to be surprised, girl.
Shayla Cross will pop out of these doors in a minute. She doesn't know it, but there's a waiting crowd of supporters, Chariots for Hope workers, and sponsors.
Surprise! Oh my God! My God, this is so beautiful. I appreciate it. Oh, my heart, you don't understand. My heart, I've been a vessel in stepping in faith. I appreciate you. Oh, my heart is so, oh my goodness, thank you so much. I've worked so hard.
We're here today celebrating you, Shayla.
This is so awesome. Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say. Oh, you got me.
She's a fighter. She's a fighter.
Hurricane Harvey barreling into the Texas coastline. More than 150,000 people at this hour plunged into darkness.
2 years ago, Shayla arrived in Omaha with her daughter. Hurricane Harvey hit Houston, leaving them desperate.
And I can't express enough how proud we are.
They had nothing but faith.
We came with a pair of shoes and one outfit, and went straight to the WCA. They paid for Best Western for the whole month. From Best Western, I was going to minister to the homeless, and I was homeless, but I was ministering to the people that just didn't have it. I was doing their hair for free so that when they went to school, they didn't feel less than or excluded, and I was doing that from my heart. Going to church. I didn't have anything, but I was still moving, still showing up at church. When I got my job, literally, I had a bike. I was riding to work. I wasn't late. I didn't miss a beat. Riding to get to work, I did. But I still showed up to church. I still went to work, and I still looked at my daughter's face, and it was worth every dime. I worked hard for every single thing I have, but I just couldn't afford a car. I couldn't do it because I had to get the rent. I had to get my daughter's clothes because we didn't have anything. God's been blessing me ever since then.
She's been through a lot. Her story, I mean, for me, she's just, again, a lot of grit, right? I mean, she has fought her way to provide for her daughter.
It gives us back tenfold just watching the people's face.
Omaha mortgage broker Jeremy Wilhelm is sponsoring Shayla's car and a warranty for repairs.
But each time doing one of these is a blessing every time. So being able to give back and hearing your story before we came out, you're on fire, girl. Yeah, so you're helping the youth, and our community needs that and needs positivity.
Love it. Yay! I guess I'll chase it. Woo, I'm happy.
Shayla has a goal: to get to her job at the Douglas County Youth Center, to work with teenagers in crisis.
It's worth it for the youth. I do that for the youth. This means everything to me. It helps me get around, helps me to continue being a vessel in the community.
And Jeremy?
Oh man, Julie, today was amazing. Today was especially special because my mom was in town.
Jeremy knows what it's like to scrape by.
You speak a very beautiful story of making defining moment choices all along the way. You kept pushing even with nothing, riding your bike, taking a taxi cab.
His mom, Sherry, was a single mom.
It was tough. We didn't have much growing up, but I always watched her move and shake and do the things that she needed to do to put food on the table and to give me a better life.
He just jumped on in, and he loves the blessings. He loves to come. It fills his bucket. He sees a car, he sees a woman and a family that's going to be able to move forward.
And now Jeremy is giving others a better life. He's sponsored 10 cars and warranties so far for $2,500 each time.
The process that they put them through doesn't just give them a car, it gives them a way to survive and thrive in the community, and that's what it's really all about.
It brings his mom nearly to tears.
It was beautiful to see his heart in motion and to see the impact he's having on other people's lives.
A heart in motion with the goal to encourage others to give.
When you do things like this and share it with the community, more people want to give back and want to do more to help others.
They're wheels that come with a blessing.
We continue to pray, God, that you will guide her and direct her so that she can go ahead and give back, Lord. But we do pray that every time she gets in this vehicle, she remembers, Lord, that you're the giver of every good gift, that you're the one that supplied this for her.
Prayers for transportation that transforms lives.
I'm just humbled, both of us humbled and honored to serve such amazing people.
The Hurts feel it's their mission to serve others, and for Michelle, there's a quiet, personal connection to the women she serves. She knows they can transform. She knows what they've been through. She's a wife to Jason, a mom to Gavin and Riley, and co-founder of a nonprofit. Michelle Hurt smiles easily, but that wasn't always the case.
I think a lot of people have a story, right? Everybody has a story.
Michelle's story takes us back.
I grew up in a West St. Louis home. My parents are still married, 50 years. A middle-class home, a very loving home, a Christian home. I made some really bad choices through my teenage life. I became addicted to drugs and alcohol. I struggled with ADD, made really bad choices. My addiction spiraled out of control. And so, I found comfort in getting high and drinking. And this is all before I'm even 21.
And then a car crash that nearly killed the young woman.
Labor Day weekend, 1991, I totaled my car coming back from the east side of St. Louis. Almost lost my life. And so I have a permanent scar from that. I have to look at my scar every day from the choices that I made from that accident. And so you would have thought that would have been life-changing, but it wasn't.
Michelle said her spiral continued, and there was tough love.
My parents kicked me out. My friends' parents kicked me out. I just was couch hopping. I just didn't love who I was becoming.
And then she made a deal.
I just begged my parents to take me back, and they took me back, but I had to go to rehab. And I just thought I'd play the stupid 30-day game, and the stupid 30-day game turned into my parents saving my life. So I have a lot of empathy for the women we serve, because I know there's healing and there's restoration.
She's vulnerable and real with these women, and that's why these women want more. They want more of that.
Michelle doesn't hide her story.
I sit here today 29 years clean and sober, and that doesn't define me who I am. It's a part of me. But it's a part of me.
I just want to thank you all for coming.
She purposely connects with women in crisis.
Everybody has touched our lives, but your stories, and particularly your relationship, your love, has touched me personally.
Each woman here has a car from Chariots4Hope.
And I've had the car almost 4 years.
Each has a car and a story.
I lived a very crazy life. Drugs, alcohol, not making very good choices.
All of them say Michelle was a part of their turning point.
Just from the moment I first met her, it was just like this light, and she just radiated joy and love and acceptance.
She's like a good role model. And so I never had any kind of woman in my life that was a good role model for me.
She spoke truth to me. She taught me, how to trust God's plan. She taught me so much about integrity and just learning to love myself.
There is mutual respect.
And I truly see your faces every day. I know each one of your blessings.
Oh.
I know how I met each one of you.
There are tears because they share parallel paths. Michelle wants them to know they can create change.
I was using tremendously a lot of drugs and alcohol. I was a manipulator, a liar. I'm not who I am today.
She shares the details of her young life so they can see the possibilities.
Don't judge the hair.
They see the drunken car crash that nearly ended it all.
Don't be ashamed of your story. You guys know that it's made you the warrior you are today.
Through open talks, homework, and reflection, they share transformations and celebrate.
I'm 9 years sober. I'm 9 years sober. Thank you. I am in the community. I work in street outreach, so I go meet people where they are, whether that's in the woods, whether that's under a bridge, wherever they are.
Cynthia will graduate this winter with a provisional license as a drug and alcohol counselor.
I would call Michelle and I would tell Michelle, my baby's sick. And she'd be like, oh no, which one? The Honda. Because it meant so much to me. It was so much for my family. It meant so much for my family. I was able to start school. I was able to start working in human services.
Lori works full-time at the center where she got sober.
I am an amazing mother today because of this car. We keep it together. I get to go to my kids' softball games. I get to watch their accomplishments. I get to go to my son's tournaments too out of town, and we get to ride as a family together. Sing in a car, hang out the sunroof, do whatever.
Toby refinishes cars for a living.
They gave me that sense of belonging. Like before I got involved with Chariots4Hope, I was unsure of like what I was gonna do next. I had like all this trouble in my life. I had like no home, I had no car, I had no job. I had no idea like where life was gonna take me next. And when I got introduced to Chariots4Hope through the Fresh Start program, it was like everything I needed. So like, I don't know, I'm gonna try not to tear up because like I get like really sensitive about that spot, but like honestly they saved my life for sure.
And gone are the long days of taking the bus.
Every day I used to ride the bus 8 times a day to get to and from work from the Open Door Mission, because I stayed down there for a while. And so I would ride 8 buses. It was 4 in the morning and 4 to get home. And so I was riding 8 buses a day before I got blessed with my car. I got a Jeep. It was the nicest vehicle I ever had.
All find strength in Michelle's spiritual journey.
It's really encouraging to have somebody come along and just be like, this is my story and this is what the Lord's done in my life, and just kind of encourage that.
Michelle's husband, Jason, says vulnerability is Michelle's superpower.
She has a background in a story, and she's battled addiction, and she's been there, and she's done that. And so once the girls know that, you have an instant trust factor and a credibility factor that allows us to go deeper.
Together, they build relationships.
Thank you for coming. For me, the car again is amazing, but it's the relational piece that I love, and just to walk alongside these women, to let them know that I've been there, I get you, I feel you.
She believes that there's healing rooted in faith, and it comes in the form of hope.
That they would understand the hope that God has given us through Him. That's my prayer for them. But even if I plant a seed and it doesn't grow until years later, or if it never grows, that they will absolutely see that there is hope.
It takes time, talent, and treasure to turn used cars into blessings. A business in Lincoln offers all three to bring light to others with the gift of transportation through their partner, Chariots4Hope. You're watching a blessing in motion. Anderson Ford in Lincoln took a donated Jeep, fixed it up, and gave it to a grandmother in need through Chariots. Deborah Grant is disabled and on a fixed income.
Oh my God, that is perfect. That is so perfect. Thank you.
You're so
Thank you so much, everybody.
It's a day this dealership won't soon forget. from the mechanics to the service department.
Our employees here are a part of making that happen so we can bless people like yourself.
Mike Anderson sees the big picture, and he offers this gift from a place of faith.
What really motivates us as an organization is there's a verse in the book of Proverbs. It's Proverbs 3:27. It says, do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it's in your power to act. And as a for-profit business, you know, we have an opportunity to do good and help people, and that's what we're all about.
He's all about cars.
Grew up in the car business, started off working for my dad when I was in junior high. I was my dad's janitor and washing cars in the summer. Worked my way up the ladder.
He understands the value of a vehicle.
Our employees can use their talents to help these people in need. And it's just like a win-win, because who doesn't want to help people, you know, that are really trying to help themselves.
1, 2, 3, smile.
He appreciates the mission of Chariots.
It's just life-changing, really.
When you see all the bad things in the world, when you find people that all they want to do is help, that is incredible, and that just renews your faith.
What they were doing by coming alongside and doing life with people really took it to the next level for us.
Mike Anderson is an absolute blessing, and he is the reason that we are in Lincoln, Grand Island, and St. Joseph.
Chariots has their own small garage too, and they believe when the doors open, opportunities pull in.
You can see the need. There's way more than just an automotive need. There's a community-wide to serve, you know what I mean? A lot of these people, they just need help.
This mechanic is on a mission. Todd Peterson will touch each of these cars donated or purchased by Chariots for Hope. This is their new depot campus in South Omaha. Every car is handpicked for a recipient. Here, Peterson takes over in the nonprofit's new garage bay, one of 3.
I really just make sure that everything's tight, not a lot of leaks. I like to look at the brakes.
He'll fix or replace anything worn or broken.
I'm very passionate. I like to take care of all the little tiny details, so it's a lot of the stuff that maybe some people would miss.
Todd, wow, our longest volunteer. Yeah.
For years, he donated his services. He knew instantly it wasn't about cars.
The company that I worked with came up to me one day and said, hey, we got this Chariots for Hope. They want us to repair cars for them. And I'm like, yeah, let's get them in here. So they brought them in, and we fixed up a car for a gal.
He just got to know us and our mission. He's a technician. He's like, you guys do cars. I love cars. I mean, it was just, I think in that world, there's a lot of people that want to give back, but just don't know how to give their talents back.
When Michelle and Jason came into the shop, I went home that night and I told my wife, I said, I don't know what's going on, but these people came in today and there's something I got to get involved. And she's like, really? And I said, yeah, I have to be a part of this.
Part of putting people with lives in transition behind the wheel and in charge of their future.
We have a saying, you can't make this up, and you really can't. I mean, this is one of those things I don't see myself doing anything else.
And with that, there's a shift in Todd's life too.
A year and a half ago, we were able to bring him on full-time as our technician.
It's just good to give back, and, you know, it's just the heart of giving. I think my wife I can blame for that, because I used to be really hard that way. I used to be like, oh, I'm working to make money. I'm going to make money.
Donors, partners, and Chariots employees see what they do as a calling.
Hallelujah, Lord.
I love giving back. I love helping out.
Because they say the end game is so rewarding.
There are still good people in this world.
I was blown away with what they do. They don't just hand out something, because, you know, truthfully, if you give something to somebody, there's very rare that there's any value to it.
Later, a guy who digs cars and a colorful show of support for the Chariots mission. KETV Newswatch 7 Chronicle, Driving Hope, a vehicle for change, continues.
The Aqueduct one. I've had the Caesars app since it was in beta testing. Oh, my Caesars in the house! The live in-game betting was my idea. Yeah, you know, I usually bet on hockey and stuff. Oh my God, they're up by 2. Hey, I'm Carl.
Today, we want you to meet Father Flanagan himself, the man who has created this new way of dealing with youth.
become more virtuous in our own lives, that we may teach more effectively the lesson of proper citizenship by example as well as instruction.
I am proud that thousands of these boys have already been given a new start in Boys Town, and that not one of them has ever disproved the belief that is closest to my heart, that there is no such thing as a bad boy.
What does it take to get your home ready for fall? A trip to NFM, of course. Your home for Bassett, Bernhard, Hooker, Jonathan Lewis, and 37B. Find everything you need, from a single piece to a full room, with 24-month financing available. Shop the brands you know in every department, the basics to the best, at legendary low prices. It's time to create the spaces you love with quality you can trust. Get your home fall ready with NFM.
Ready yourself for positive change at the Conference on Opportunity, Diversity, and Equity.
Every day, information changes. Every night, KETV Newswatch 7 at 10 delivers the facts.
Nebraska's pandemic state of emergency ends
From breaking news
We have several crews on the scene right now.
to investigations
Law enforcement agencies across the country are reporting a recruitment crisis.
and helping you plan ahead.
3 a.m. with the bigger storms into the Omaha Metro.
The team you trust gets answers for you. KETV Newswatch 7 at 10, Omaha's news leader.
Community, coming together to share a bond rooted in friendship. It's the mission of Chariots for Hope, a supportive community making healthy connections. It's a place where the water is cold and laughter is abundant.
Laughter is healing.
Behind the gates of the Depot campus at 21st and Woolworth, it's community night run by volunteers. Shannon and Sean Lunger and 4 of their 8 children are here. They help host free community events for Chariots for Hope.
We always know that there's so much power in community, especially just all the walks of life and the stories, that kind of a melting pot.
There's always food, babysitting, and fellowship.
There's also some guys that are willing to help us with the garage and then donate their time to fix the cars.
There are 9 women here tonight with 9 cars from Chariots. It's in these circles where they connect. They're past clients, future friends, and those who want to be part of something positive.
This is why they do that. It is beyond the car. There's so much more than the car. It is, pulling people out of situations that may have left them in more desperate times, or just needing that community and people to kind of jump in the trenches with them and get them out.
It's networking in its most basic form.
It's kind of like a master's program of life. So now you knew one program, and that's where you're comfortable, and now you meet other people. And it's really empowering, because that's how you make the job connections, make the family connections.
Jay Giovanni and his wife Megan were blessed with a van from Chariots last year.
It was super overwhelming, just such a blessing to have.
Because God's time is perfect.
Right.
Absolutely perfect.
What Chariots for Hope sees that inspires is the ripple effect of their charity.
Hi, bud. How are you?
On another night on a downtown Omaha street corner,
Here, let me help you out.
it's dinner time. Jay and Megan are passing out free meals, served from the back of their Chariots van.
I remember being here in my life. Some of the sin and the things that take over in our lives, like drugs and alcohol, and I'm not picking on anybody because I've been there. But what I forget, or what I remember most, is I forget to feed myself.
The couple's part of a ministry that takes extra food from a Council Bluffs food pantry.
You guys hungry?
And feeds people in the community.
God's just been so good to us that we just like to pass it on. And He just provides everything we need to do it. And like Jay said, I remember when, I wasn't being fed, spiritually or worldly, and how important it is.
The two found faith in the most difficult circumstances, and they want that for others who are struggling.
I just remember being so broken, and I was in jail, and I was coming off drugs, and I ended up pregnant, found out in jail, and you know, the Lord came and found me and saved my life, and for sure hers.
Now sober and healthy.
How you doing, brother? What's your name?
Knowing someone's name, sharing a hot dog. The Giovannis say it's their calling.
It is really that ripple effect, you know, and so people need love. They need food, for sure. They need other people to care.
Even if it's just in passing.
Thank you, guys. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful night, okay?
Like every nonprofit, Chariots relies on volunteers and donations to keep running. Also, creative fundraisers. There's horsepower here.
It's a definite toy box, for sure.
This is a private museum in Omaha.
That one has fins. Do you guys like fins?
Absolutely mind-boggling to me. To be here, to see these cars, to see people's faces when they walk in, it's unbelievable.
The only way you can get in to see it is through a charity event.
You're looking at the personal collection of Omaha businessman Peter Fink.
I collect American muscle cars.
Yes. Wow. He owns Certified Transmission, and this was his first car.
It's a Pontiac Formula 400 Firebird.
Built in 1970.
I got that car when I was 16 years old. I've always originally owned it. This car is probably what got me started in the business that I'm in. It ran good, so I started drag racing it, and when you start racing it, guess what? You break stuff, and I had no money to pay anybody to work on it.
So he learned to work on cars, becoming a mechanic, building a life for himself.
This car is literally responsible for everything, for my business, for my wife, my family, everything, okay? I've never sold it. I've always owned it.
There are 120 restored beauties from the 60s and 70s and some newer muscle cars, too.
I would have to say I probably like cars a little bit.
And knowing the value of transportation, he opened a shiny new museum to Chariots4Hope for its fundraiser.
This is the first event we've had here. I just finished it a couple months ago. I believe in giving back. I think it's special.
He believes everyone has a car story of their first car or the car that got them through a rough time.
The charity we're supporting is just awesome. You know, and they're not just giving away cars. They're making people earn it and responsible for it and taking care of it and understand what it means.
Pearl Miller understands the value of wheels. Her first car came from Chariots a few years ago after being part of its program for 6 months.
Chariots4Hope have been a blessing to me, especially. They blessed me with a car.
But Pearl's used car has seen better days, and she worked to enroll in the vehicle buying program with Chariots.
It really helps these recipients. It secures a car for them. It gives them a warranty so they don't have to worry about the high cost of repairs. And most importantly, it builds a transportation plan, a long-term transportation plan that's going to help them keep that car on the road. And so tonight, we're excited because we're going to be able to go ahead and share a part of that transportation plan.
So Pearl doesn't know it, but her low-interest 2-year car loan came through, and she will soon make affordable payments on a nicer car with fewer miles. It's that skin in the game that donors say has value.
I was blown away with what they do. They don't just hand out something because, you know, truthfully, if you give something to somebody, there's very rare that there's any value to it.
And Chariots sees value in choosing the clients who will use the gift wisely.
It's a big possession and a big ownership, and so we want to make sure that we are doing everything in our power to pick the right candidate and making sure that they're ready for that.
So on this night, where the fundraising goal was $75,000.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell?
For Pearl, it's a bit of heaven.
You ain't doing that. Come on.
She's invited to sing with the musical guests, country, pop, and gospel entertainer Cafe Anderson, and she sings from the heart. And what she sees is about to blow her away.
Wait. You're a blessing, and people that are a blessing deserve more blessings. Turn around and get a new car. Turn around and get a new car.
We just want to love these people. Just love them and encourage them. And God's given us the tool of a car.
Cars in the Vehicle Assistance Program range in value, and owning one, paying one off is really good to build a woman's credit. The fundraiser raised $170,000. But the program is more than just a gift. It's training, too. Teaching what it takes to own your own wheels when KETV News Watch 7 Chronicle continues.
Have your commercial roof installed by the best. H&S Contracting, receiving the Elite Contractor Award for Duralast. Duralast roofing systems are prefabricated to fit your building, backed by the industry's best warranties, and installed only by authorized contractors like H&S Contracting.
I'm Harold Hoffenbeer with H&S Contracting, your local roofing expert. We've been in business for 30 years, and we'll be here tomorrow.
H&S Contracting. Call for a free estimate on any roofing project.
Downtown Recycling, just north of the Omaha metro area, is crushing the competition. Same-day service on container delivery and pickup. Same-day service and top dollar for #1 cast, converters, and scrap metal like brass and copper. Up to $650 for automobile. Same-day service on towing. Open 6 days a week. Come see why we crush the competition for a quick same-day payout at top dollar. Downtown Recycling.
The NFL is back, and DraftKings' latest offer is a sure thing. So we got former automatic NFL kicker Martin Gramatica to break it down. Martin?
Bet just $1 on any NFL game, get $200 Automatica, no matter what.
That is Automatica, Martin Gramatica.
It's no stressy, Jesse.
Download the app, sign up with the promo code. Bet $1 to get $200 automatically, and make it rain with an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
When your child needs neurological care, Boys Town Pediatric Neuroscience is here for you with more doctors, clinics, and telemedicine for quicker access to care and the answers you need. Parents, schedule a visit today with Boys Town Pediatric Neuroscience.
The big plays, the scores, the excitement of high school football. Operation Football has it all. Featuring the monster matchup and fan favorite game of the week.
Operation Football, tonight on KETV News Watch 7, sponsored by Dingman's Collision Center. KETV's Project Community, honoring inclusive communities, is proud to recognize essential workers as recipients of the 2021 Humanitarian Award, showing exceptional commitment and loyalty. Brave workers like LPN Audrey Jones and packing plant worker Blanca Menjivar worked throughout the pandemic to keep food on our tables, care for the sick, protect, and so much more. For their dedication, we say thank you. KETV's Project Community and Inclusive Communities, highlighting the people bringing Omaha together.
Welcome back to Chronicle, Driving Hope, a vehicle for change. Imagine having a car worth thousands of dollars and not having a clue about how to take care of it. Chariots4Hope makes sure that doesn't happen. When is a used minivan a treasure? When it gives you the gift of presence.
Just like picking up your kids from school, how enjoyable it is for them to see you. Just knowing that my kids can expect to see me pick them up from school is a huge thing.
Chariots4Hope blessed Gigi Renshaw with her vehicle last year. She was trying to finish school to secure a job. Her old car broke down, and for months, she walked.
I would go ahead and walk an hour to work for my 12-hour shift and then walk another hour and like 20 minutes just because of traffic when I was done.
She says her wheels changed her life.
Is when I was blessed with hope.
Yes, she named her van.
We always name our vehicles, yeah, and so my kids decided this was our hope. It gave us the hope to finish school and to push one more day harder. So she's Hope. Yes.
The new medical assistant started attending classes on the Chariots campus, including one called Under the Hood. Mechanic Todd Peterson is the instructor.
But
yeah, you're actually a little full. If I can help them know about their car and be in tune with it, then I've succeeded.
Because the cars are all used, Todd shows them how to check fluids and troubleshoot problems.
I want them to come to me first, because like this car here, we've done all the repairs on, so I know everything that's gone on with this vehicle. I want to look and see what that is up top a little bit better.
Chariots has a checklist of requirements for each applicant.
Creating their budget, a driver's license, passing a drug test, making sure they can afford the $500 payment towards the car. So they're taking responsibility and making sure that she or he is ready for car ownership.
You heard Michelle say a $500 cost.
It takes it to a different level as far as them taking pride in the car, them maintaining the car. $500 is a lot of money to a lot of people. It's a lot of money to me, but to the men and women that we serve, it is sometimes an entire paycheck. But we just see that the retention numbers are much better when people have skin in the game.
The thought is when you own something, you're more likely to care for it.
Do you want to wear gloves? All right.
On this day, Gigi helps Todd rotate her tires. She's learned when you take care of things, they last.
Longevity, anything in life, it's an investment, and so because you know, like you go to the doctor once a year to make sure that everything's good with yourself, same with your vehicle. Tell me what that was again.
Evaporator.
Because she attends training like this, she earns credits that are banked for warranties and expected repairs on her van.
We know that this car is not long-term. We pray that it gets them for about a good 2 years. But what's the next step?
Chariots also guides recipients through purchasing newer cars, and some donate their old cars back to the charity. It wasn't always that way.
We started this thing with big hearts and no brains, I always say. We wanted to help everybody and just give them a car. We're Oprah. You get a car, great. But we realized really quickly that that's just a Band-Aid to a lot of folks, you know, where they are in their journey. It's just a Band-Aid to their problem. And so we make sure that it's important that they go through a vetting process.
Really, what they do is match cars with people, and they stay for the ride.
A lot of them are coming for a tangible thing that is transforming, but then they realize, oh my gosh, this is so much more than the car. This is actually a community that's here for me and that will help me keep my car on the road, but will also help my spiritual vehicle as well.
The business of getting cars ready for the road can be tough.
I get to come and volunteer, and it's really saved, like, helped me.
So what makes a mechanic want to donate to the cause? That part of the story when KETV News Watch 7 Chronicle continues.
The dual-pole Super Doppler 3-minute advantage is simple and important.
If everyone else's radar shows the storm's leading edge over Village Point,
Dual-pole Super Doppler's 3-minute advantage pinpoints the leading edge's true location, just west of Millard North.
That's 1.5 miles, which makes a big difference in keeping your family safe during severe weather.
That's the dual-pole Super Doppler 3-minute advantage. Only on Omaha's weather leader, KETV News Watch 7. No one covers Husker Game Day like the Big Red Zone. Andy Kendi, Matt Foster, and our Husker Insiders bringing you coverage all week long. Then Game Day kicks off with Big Red Zone Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Pre-game live chat on Facebook takes your questions. Then the Big Red Zone brings you highlights and post-game reaction on air and in the KETV app. The Big Red Zone is your Husker Game Day source. Only on KETV News Watch 7.
Every 5 days, someone in Nebraska dies from an opioid overdose. These are our family, friends, and neighbors. But you can be ready to help stop these preventable deaths. Opie Rescue helps you find the overdose reversal drug naloxone to have on hand. If someone overdoses, Opie Rescue shows you 4 steps to save them. Don't wait until it's too late to save a life. Install the free app for Apple or Android now.
People, make your deposit. Woo! You bet $100 and get an authentic NFL jersey. Woo! Everybody gets an authentic NFL jersey. Everybody. Woo! Oh, wait a minute. Not Carl. Carl gets nothing.
Chariots4Hope has given more than 40 cars this year. They have more than 350 people in their aftercare program, and very often those recipients like to give back. In a stuffy garage on a Wednesday night, there's restoration. Jennifer Marino is recovering from a head injury.
In a speeding car, a girl hit me, didn't brake. Went forward, hit the back of my head like you do, but the bruising was here.
She's inspiring. She's a fighter. She's a go-getter. She graciously gives away her time and her talents. She doesn't even realize the gifts that she gives and how it's overflowing to other people.
Tim Ruff is just 30, and he's experienced a lifetime of setbacks.
Every day we wake up, we have an opportunity to make a different decision, to make a new choice. What am I going to do with my life?
What they've both done is live through homelessness and substance abuse.
I'm just grateful she lets us be a part of her journey.
But their mentors see something else.
Tim, perseverance, strength.
Jennifer is a trained and experienced automotive tech who says her love of cars faded with her concussion.
I didn't have that fire. Instead, just like have this fire for automotive, like I want to do that.
Get it back.
And it wasn't there anymore.
A simple invitation to show up in this garage started a cascade of change.
I get to come and work on cars, have fun. Todd's really knowledgeable and helpful, and I'm giving back to people, and I'm giving back because Chariots has really helped me.
Back in her element.
I like it. I like the smell of grease. I like cars are a lot like people. They have pressure, memory, temperaments, but they make more sense to me.
And being here,
kind of hand tighten before I even put them on with the impact.
she's putting her hands on cars again as a volunteer mechanic for Chariots4Hope.
You go into star pattern.
She tells me it's life-changing.
So I got this opportunity to come and volunteer, and I'm getting it back. So you got a good transmission leak, that's not good. It's like the smell, the sound, the atmosphere, the talk, the energy, it's coming back.
Tim spends time in the shop too.
Basically, this is a scan tool that runs diagnostics for the computer in the vehicle.
And as vehicles are restored, he sees change in himself.
Just the love that I experience around Michelle and Jason and Todd, just the whole, the goal of Chariots4Hope is, that they have a lot of passion, they have a lot of heart, they have a lot of soul.
Oh, wow. It's a beautiful picture of restoration, friendship, and so him being down here, going through the program, and just being able to laugh and cry with him when he was actually in it, getting out of his yuck, moving forward, to see where he is today, giving back through his talents. It just gives me goosebumps. It brings me to my knees. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude.
It's growth that can't be ignored.
And I love her because she flies under the radar. She kind of she doesn't want to be the center of attention. But yeah, when I see her in there, and I see her in the shop, and I see her thriving, she's coming out of her shell. She's speaking with passion and purpose.
Spiritually, I'm getting better. Emotionally, I think I'm better. I'm not angry.
Jennifer and Tim have something else in common. Chariots surprised both with cars a few years ago, which brought other gifts.
More dignity, more self-esteem.
I don't think that you can ever really pay somebody back for something that they've done to you, from the bottom of their heart without expecting anything in return. If they do something without expectation, you can't pay them back because that's not why they did it, so that you could pay them back, but you can give back in the same way that they gave to you.
The balance of giving and receiving. Chariots4Hope says it's no coincidence.
We believe that they were divinely placed into our lives, that they were handpicked for this time and season. They needed this ministry, we needed them, and so yeah, we think it was a beautiful relationship, and it absolutely was handpicked.
A grassroots effort built this cause, championed by the Hurt family and rooted in faith and service.
Being able to serve all kinds of amazing women, men and women, really, I think the example that we treasure.
Charity that began in the driveway when KETV News Watch 7 Chronicle continues.
Omaha's news leader keeps you connected to what's happening anywhere you are with the KETV News Watch 7 app. Get breaking news alerts sent straight to your phone, local stories important to you, and investigations you won't find anywhere else. Plus, accurate forecasts from the Weather Now Storm Team. Stay connected to what's happening with Omaha's news leader in the KETV News Watch 7 app. Download it for free today.
Every day, you take steps to be safe. It's how you protect yourself and others from harm. The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? While research continues to grow in this area, science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping you and those around you safe. Breathe easier, knowing the facts.
Sunday on Chronicle, our investigation into a troubled child welfare agency. Now lawmakers are digging into the nonprofit and its financial issues. Employees and foster families are speaking out.
It's clear that they need to go.
St. Francis Ministries, Sunday at 10 a.m.
I'm Soledad O'Brien. This week on Matter of Fact,
we visit a craft brewery run by rival gang members, hoping to brew opportunity and curb gang violence in a North Carolina town.
Jason and Michelle Hurt moved from New York to Omaha 6 years ago. He was in corporate America, an insurance executive. She was a stay-at-home mom. They felt a calling that's forever changed his family.
Was kind of at the top of where I wanted to be, just experienced a lot of success, but I was just empty. You know, and so for us, this is faith-based. It's all about our faith, and I just was growing closer in my faith. My faith was getting stronger, and just felt that God wanted us to go ahead and pursue a different route.
And that road led to Omaha. When they first started the nonprofit 6 years ago, the Hurt family detailed donated cars in the driveway at home.
It really is fulfilling to be able to wake up and do what you were called to do and what you love to do, and to serve others with your best friend. Couldn't ask for anything more.
He's obviously my amazing husband, and we get to walk this mission out together. We are going on 23 years of marriage.
It's a partnership they've steered together, with Michelle guiding much of the community relations work and Jason leaning on his corporate experience.
Running a nonprofit it's a business, it's a corporation, and so I love his business sense and his knowledge that way, and just the way that he loves the people we serve. I mean, I just never thought that we would be given this opportunity to truly love people, that whether they're broken or not broken, but to love people that we may have never crossed paths with.
Those paths touching their children as well. Gavin and Riley say they've witnessed change.
I think it's a really cool thing, and to just see my parents grow in it too. Not only the ministry, but them as like people has been really cool.
Jason says he's guided by a clear goal.
For me, it's obedience. It's just being obedient. It's being obedient not only to the people that we serve, but to my God, to my wife, to my family.
And this work gives them more family time.
It's family oriented, you know, like all the way around, like the ministry itself is. So it's really cool to be able to be a part of that.
And part of a legacy that goes far beyond a set of wheels.
We value and treasure diversity. That, you know, that God has made us all different and unique, and to love people exactly for who they are and where they are.
They say life is in the details.
Being able to serve all kinds of amazing men and women, really, I think the example that we treasure every day that we're passing on to our kids is just being able to serve unconditionally and love unconditionally.
I'm just humbled, both of us humbled and honored to serve such amazing people.
And that service transforms lives. A young mom and her vehicle for change when KETV Newswatch 7 Chronicle continues.
Today, we want you to meet Father Flanagan himself, the man who has created this new way of dealing with youth.
Hold up.
We must become more virtuous in our own lives, that we may teach more effectively the lesson of proper citizenship by example as well as instruction.
I am proud that thousands of these boys have already been given a new start in Boys Town, and that not one of them has ever disproved the belief that is closest to my heart, that there is no such thing as a bad boy.
And DraftKings' latest offer is a sure thing. So we got former Automatic NFL kicker Martine Gramatica to break it down. Martine?
Bet just $1 on any NFL game, get $200 Automatica, no matter what.
That is Automatica, Martine Gramatica.
It's no stressy, Jesse.
Download the app, sign up with the promo code. Bet $1 to get $200 automatically and make it rain with an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
No matter what happens next, Omaha's news leader is with you every step of the way. Mornings.
We're focused on getting you prepared.
News you can trust to start your day.
An accurate forecast to plan ahead.
Evenings.
We're focusing on the stories that matter most.
Uncovering answers, reporting facts.
Working every day to earn your trust.
Stay up to date with the information you need. In Nebraska and Iowa, whenever, wherever you need us. We're here for you. KETV News Watch 7, Omaha's news leader.
They're taking the afternoon to give back. Volunteers from Penn Federal Credit Union clean and detail cars that will be given away through Chariots for Hope. Vehicles that will be given to people like Alexis DeLong, the young mom getting rides to work every day until now. The surprise element, it never gets old.
When you get to see like 10 seconds of this like utter like shock and surprise, all of it pays off.
This group is surprising Alexis DeLong at work.
This is your hard work, kiddo. This isn't anything that we've done. You worked, you did the work.
The 20-year-old new mom is taking it all in. Never missing work at daycare, even without a car.
This young woman was getting dropped off every day by family, spouses, in-laws, aunts, uncles. It really takes a village, and in social services we talk about that all the time, but this really, watching her, you see it, and it becomes so hard, and they want to give up. And this young woman never gave up.
There are tears of joy and relief.
It's got new tires, new brakes, new windshield. It's ready to go for you.
You showed the grit of getting a job, you know, making sure that job was secure and really being responsible. And so you are a true leader for a lot of women that are watching you.
We know that you have been patient. You've gone through the application process and you've done everything that we asked you.
You've always set yourself up. You've always made sure that you were going to get to work, you were going to get to aftercare, you were going to get to those classes. And without your hard work and your dedication, this moment wouldn't happen.
A moment made possible by partnerships, trust, and faith.
You have to thank yourself, and you have to thank God for blessing you and putting you in the right places.
It's a blessing topped off with gratitude.
Getting this blessing is going to take a lot of the pressure off. And just thank you for everything. I wouldn't be here where I am today without any of you.
And she is truly grateful. Chariots for Hope will take cars in any condition and put them to good use. To contact them, go to chariotsforhope.org. That's the number 4. I'm Julie Cornell. Thanks for joining us on this journey through a nonprofit doing good work.